Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's another Mythic Monday, and today we're going to be finishing up our Poxxus wave reviews with the Brute Scale Tharnog. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, this is typically where I would show off the package, but unfortunately I do not have the box for this guy because I traded my good friend Randall, aka the Glow Man, for this figure, and I don't have the package. So what I'll do is I'll throw up his bio right here. This is straight from the Mythic Legions website, so you can read the bio and see what it says there. And we're going to start off with our accessories. So he does come with this fur wrap for his shoulders. It's got this odd piece here. It's very weirdly shaped. And it kind of falls apart a little bit. We do have this really nice mystical shaman staff. It does come apart right here at the top, so you could swap out with a different topper if you wanted to. But this thing is very nice. We've got some gnarled up wood pieces here. We've got this nice human skull and this sort of beast skull with these curvy horns, more bones, little baubles, little feathers, and all kinds of stuff. We got this gold plate on the back, kind of holding it all together, and this piece is pretty exquisite. It's beautifully painted, and I absolutely love it. I think it looks great. Next up, we have a little bevy of hands here, and you can already see I got fur all over me. So we have two of his weapon or staff gripping hands on horizontal hinges, very well sculpted. I really love the way these look. All the details very nice on these hands. Anytime you match their beautiful sculpting with sizing things up, it's going to look great. We have these two gesturing, spellcasting, gesturing gripping hands, which look really nice. And the weird thing is that we're going to get an extra one of these right hands. This hand right here is the exact same hand that you get that is holding this crystal ball with magic effect. And I will show you, this hand is removable, but at first I wanted to show you how this looks. You have the purplish colored smoke like rising up, wrapping around his hands. If you get this positioned in his hand just perfectly, it's going to hold so tightly and not fall apart. It's absolutely perfect. But once you you just got to make sure that you get it in there right. And then of course it is removable, and it's the exact same hand as the other. Why we get a bonus one, not sure, but hey, they threw it in there. Maybe they were like, hey, if you get it in there, you don't probably want to take it back out again. Let's see, can I do this on camera, behind the camera? Am I going to be able to? Nope. Just know that's what it looks like. I love the curling smoke effect. This is a really nice piece, and I'm glad it's included. Next up, Tharnog is going to come with these super boss shoulder pauldrons, and these things are, as you can see, asymmetrical, so they are not the same design. The bones are different from the left and the right. The rock formations that are poking out look a little different from behind. This is what they look like. So each one of the pieces looks like it's kind of like a piece of bone already, some sort of bone or rocky formation, and that like all of this was kind of cobbled together. You can remove the antlers from the back and have a completely different look for the pauldrons if you want to. They plug in very nicely. They just add a lot of height and bulk to the character, and we're definitely going to see that in a few minutes when we put it on him. Next up, we get two heads, and these heads are absolutely identical save for the face paint. Man, that fuzzy hair stuff just gets everywhere. Sorry about that. But as you can see, they're super identical. There's no difference here other than the face paint. So we're just going to take a look at one of them, and that's going to do for both. I absolutely love this look. I love the bone pieces that are like coming out of his ears, because those are like earrings. They're actually stuck through the ear, which is really nice. Then you've got the tusks that come out of his mouth, and then in the beard, which has this nice little wash. You see all these beads and wraps and bones and feathers and all this kind of stuff, as you would expect to see with like a shaman type character, and that's what Tharnog is. He's on the side of the good guys, and he's a shaman. So here is Tharnog up on the turntable, just so that you can see what he looks like here, kind of pared down, because once you put everything on him, it's kind of hard to see what you're getting here with the base figure. But I absolutely love his body and his build. I think he looks great. I think this body would do great for, like, you know, a big, huge, bulky barbarian, you know, in that brute scale. But the sculpting is great. The wraps, the fur piece around the waist, like, this guy is just incredible. He looks fantastic, even just pared down like this. And then you put everything on him and he looks even better. So let's take a closer look here at Tharnog. So as far as the rest of the body goes, you kind of want to get this head out of the way so you can see the body. And you can, you know, I have heard, you know, that they've talked about, the Four Horsemen have talked about, this is the same body and arms that they've used before, but just scaled up like 10%. I did want to show that these wraps are not removable. They are the lower part of the arm. As you can see, like, if you were to take them apart, you would be taking off the lower part of the arm. They're not removable, but the hands do pop in and out very easily. This belt piece is insane. This is so cool. You get these little bits and bobs, but you've got this big jawbone right here, this little bag of powder or sand or whatever, another little jar over here, another jawbone. You've got that skull and little bones hanging down. You've got the armor around the sides here. You've got this nice, I love the material they use here for the loincloth piece. This fur piece looks really good. But I did want to show off that the leg wraps are a separate piece. So this is really neat. So if you get it turned properly, I'm going to pull the foot off, and then you can see that you can take the wraps off, and the lower leg is, you know, sculpted underneath, which is really, really cool. Kind of wish they would have done that for the wrist, but hey, we get what we get. And then that foot pops back in there very nicely. But yeah, as you can see, the wrist, that is the lower part of the forearm, where the wraps are. But just look at that sculpt. It just looks so incredibly good. Now for articulation, he can look up that far. I know that looks weird. He's not going to be able to look down at all because of that beard. The arms can go out to the side all the way, hit that T-pose, no problem. They can spin all the way around if you need them to. No upper bicep swivel because we're maintaining the integrity of the sculpt here. We do have a 90-degree bend at the waist. It does swivel at the top of the gauntlet, hand swivel at the wrist as well. We have a waist swivel. You can go 360 degrees. The legs do go all the way forward, but they kind of go out at an angle. They kick out to the side. They can go out to the side that far, back that far. We do have the upper thigh swivel, which is really nice. We have 90-degree bend at the knee and a swivel there as well. No upper boot cut because there's no cut there at all. And then hinge, swivel, and rocker down below for foot articulation. So let's see if we can get him sort of like kitted out here with some of his gear. Let's see if we can get him to stand up right there, buddy. And now let's bring this in. So I did want to show, like, what I like to do is I like to lay it around his neck like this, and then down here I like to use the jawbones on his belt, and I kind of tuck this in back behind the jawbone. Now this does a couple of things. One, it allows you to still see all of the detail on his belt, but it also traps the fur piece between that bone piece and his chest and his arm to where it doesn't move around. So it kind of serves two purposes. I know I'm going to put that staff in his hand, so let's go ahead and get the gripping hand in there and pop that on, and then let's see what we could do here with these very large shoulder pauldrons, which I'm probably going to have a hard time with doing this behind the camera. So you just want to tuck the fur piece underneath, and then you want to line up everything and get that pushed in properly. And let's see how that works. Same thing on the other side. And there you have it. You can just see the extra bulk. I mean, more so than normal. You know, shoulder pauldrons on Mythic Legions definitely change the profile and the silhouette of the character and adding bulk as much as possible. But these things are just another level. That hand pops out so easily. So let me go ahead and just, while the hand is off, go ahead and get the staff in there. Man, this little bottom part keeps falling out. And then there you have it. There is Tharnog all kitted out with all of his gear, all of his armor, looking big, bulky, and very, much like a warrior shaman. Now for a size comparison here, I did want to bring in a couple of other Mythic Legions here. We have a smaller character. We have my little Fuzzmuck custom here. Then we have Bellbone's Broken Shield for a regular, standard 1.0 figure. So you can see the difference in this brute scale. We'll leave that little guy out here, and then we'll bring in like a half giant. We'll bring that in. Now, I don't have a troll to bring up the next scale, but I just wanted to show you the 4 different scales that I have and where Tharnog sits amongst them. So let's get these guys out of the way. Let's get him into some lighting and into some backgrounds, and let's see how the Tharnog here poses up. I have to tell you, this guy is incredible, and he is one of my favorites in the line. He was one that I was definitely looking forward to getting at the very beginning, which is kind of funny how he is one of the ones that I got dead last in this wave, and thankfully I was able to get him for a trade. And I didn't come out of pocket for this guy. But he is big and bulky and beautiful, and I love this guy. I love his the body proportions. I can't wait to see what the Mythic Legions crew, the 4 Horsemen, have in store for us with this body in the future. I could see them definitely reusing it again into some sort of big barbarian form. I would love to see that. Even making this guy a barbarian is super possible if you want to, kind of eschew away his shamanistic ways. But with the parts and pieces that he comes with, the bones, the leather, all the mystical parts and pieces, this guy is a standout character and very unique in the Poxxus wave, and I absolutely love him. And shout out again to my buddy, Glowman. Randall, thank you, buddy, so much for trading me this figure. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.